This video contains 3 FPV secrets that, when learned, will explode your FPV piloting skills and simply give you way more joy while flying too. So if that doesn't sound like you, then now's the time to go and watch something else. Bye-bye. But if you do want these secrets, then let's be honest, why wouldn't you? You're going to learn from today's video what the heck they are, how you can easily use them to start seeing results for yourself, and what else is inside the big old book of secrets. So let's open it on up. Secret number 1. This first one will seriously unlock skills that you didn't know that you already had just by making them more accessible. Okay, but how the heck do you access skills that you didn't even know that you had? Well, I am stoked that you asked, because all you gotta do is follow these 3 steps. The first is a physical change on your drone, where in some cases you'll need a small hex driver, but for many you'll just be able to use your finger. What we're doing here is taking our camera angle from whatever it is at and bringing it down much closer to a flat angle. This is going to have 2 major effects on the way that you control your drone, with the first being decreased speed, as now you can't tilt the drone as much without staring face to face with the ground. The extra power that used to go into your forward movement, however, now gets transferred into your throttle ascent and descent speed, so you're going to quickly notice that you have to pay even closer attention to the already difficult throttle stick, as the up and down sensitivity is going to be so much higher with the additional power that's going there. Bruh. If you stop here though, you wouldn't have unlocked anything other than a world of frustration and pain, so you'll need to make sure you follow along with these next 2 steps as well. Step 2 is within our lovely friend Betaflight. Head down to the PID tuning tab and then over to the rate profile settings. Now, don't start sweating like a runner. There's no need to worry. We aren't going to be doing anything difficult or complex here. Instead, we're simply clicking on the little drop down menu under throttle limit and changing it to scale. Then if we go to the right a little bit under throttle limit percentage, we're going to change that number from 100 to 70. Effectively, what we've just done now is reduce the power of our drone by about 30%. So that means you physically will not be able to push your drone past 70% of its full power. You're going to see why this is so useful in just a moment, but before that, we have step 3 to complete, which thankfully is the setting right below, and it's called Throttle Expo. We're going to change this number to 0.2 if you're pretty confident with your throttle control already, or 0.5 and above if you think that you could actually do with some more finessing. The lighter your drone is, the more you're going to want to have some more throttle expo, as what it's doing is it's flattening out the zone in the middle where your throttle stick would usually sit and making it so that it's less responsive to micro adjustments in that middle range. This will drastically help you on tiny whoops where they have a super sensitive throttle range thanks to their super lightweight design. So by now, you might be wondering, what the heck are these 3 changes gonna do other than limit your drone's power, speed, and responsiveness? And well, the answer to that is giving you more control. Imagine you're trying to learn to drive a car, right? Think of a full-powered drone with no limitations on it as being similar to that of a sports car. While you might understand the basics of driving a car, the controls of the sports car are just so precise, fast, and powerful that you simply can't control the car smoothly at all. Now, take your newly limited drone and compare it to the likes of a Honda Odyssey. Yeah, one of these things. It's not going to get you anywhere fast, you aren't going to have instant throttle launches, and you'll be more likely to be able to learn to drive a lot faster and smoother in it. So, secret number 1 is slow is smooth, and smooth is fast. Alrighty, let's get on to the next. Secret number 2. Now look, if you're anything like me, and well, probably every other person that I actually know, you'd be pretty excited to hear that there is a way to generate free time for yourself to get out and fly. I know that when I unlocked this secret for the first time, it really did open up a whole new world of possibilities, as I just found myself able to fly way more often and in turn have so much more fun. So what the heck is this secret time generator, and how do you get it? To be able to understand how the time generator works, we first need to figure out exactly what is limiting our time so much in the first place. Obviously, this is going to be completely different for everyone, as some have family commitments, others have work during every daylight hour, and others have to organize transport to go to a flying location. Whatever your reason is though, it's totally okay. But what we do know for sure is that remembering to charge up your batteries, pack in your goggles, remote, antennas, spare propellers, tools, cables, and all of that jazz is really just one of the biggest time issues that we all face. So for the first half of the time generator, we need to eliminate this issue entirely. And for me, that comes in the form of a ready-to-fly whoop kit. Most smaller tiny whoop kits, whether it's a ready-to-buy kit off the shelf or whether you've actually put the kit together yourself, they've got pretty bomb-proof drones that hold up to a lot of abuse, meaning you aren't going to be needing to fix your drone and having to remember the spare parts on the packing list. Alongside that, nearly everything's going to be able to be charged up with a USB cable and will have built-in batteries, so it's going to be pretty damn hard to forget to pack or charge them. And finally, things are just going to work together seamlessly. This was probably one of the biggest changes for me that the DJI Avata has given. Like, yes, I know that it's not the best drone for like most flying scenarios, and yes, it is expensive if I do happen to break it. Haven't done that yet, but let's hope I don't. But it all charges fast with a USB cable, and all I need to remember to actually bring along with me is the controller, goggles, and drone. Nothing else. But what's the other half of this time generator, you might be wondering, right? Well, this part is totally free and requires nothing other than either the calendar app on your phone or some pen and paper. You see, alongside this YouTube channel, I also run a video marketing company that requires me to go out to different locations pretty much every day. The way I remember when my bookings are and when I need to be going out to a job is by simply having a calendar with everything in it. Now, when I say everything, I mean literally everything. If I've got a date night coming up, that goes into my calendar. If I have a gym day, that goes in as well. And if I need to have a day off, well, guess where it goes? In my calendar. Now, this level of organization is not for most people, and look, that's totally a-okay, but you can absolutely use it to book some time out for yourself on a certain day to go out and fly. Once you've tried a few different days and times, just make it into a non-negotiable commitment to yourself that allows you the freedom of, say, 2 hours or an hour to either be alone or with your friends and do the thing that you love doing, flying FPV drones. I promise you that you'll soon be able to find that time every week that you thought you originally didn't have, just by simply making your hobby time an integral part of your routine. In the long run, you're going to be happier for it, and you're going to be able to put that positive energy right back into the rest of your busy schedule, making every day so much better than before. So secret number 2 is make time for the things that make you feel alive. Now, for secret number 3, which is possibly one of the more underrated things that took me forever to learn about, but once I had it locked in, made finding amazing locations so freaking easy. All you need access to for this is either a phone or a computer with internet, which by the fact that you're watching this video, I'm gonna presume that you have. Hey, do let me know though if you're watching this on a smart fridge or something dope, because that would just be insanely cool. Anyways, I'm gonna do this on my phone as it's something that you can do anytime and anywhere, but just before I can show you what to actually do on the phone, you first need to understand what we are looking for in an amazing flying location. Obviously, every location is going to be great for some and terrible for others, depending on your style of flying that you're actually going after. For now though, I'll keep it pretty generic so that there's options for pretty much every type of pilot. Honestly, instead of listing out a bunch of good locations, it's just going to be so much easier to list out places that make for bad locations, such as busy tourist traps, privately owned land, mirror calm water. I don't know why I'd need to mention that at all. Oh yeah, that's right. Bird dense areas, scraggly bushes, and tall grass are also on the no-go list for me. I'm sure you'll be able to think of a few other bad locations for yourself depending on whereabouts you live in the world, but you get the idea behind it, right? So with that in mind, we now know the good locations are actually pretty abundant, and all we need is a method to find them, and that's when we go right back to the phone or computer. You've probably played around with this app before when you got bored in school or just wanted to explore the world a bit, and it's called the metaverse. I'm kidding, it's not the metaverse, it is Google Earth. Now, before you write this as a waste of your time, it does take some effort, but by searching up terms like abandoned or just simply finding interesting looking landscapes nearby to you, you can literally start to see if it's actually a feasible flying location or not. Simply drag and drop this little person icon anywhere you think could be a cool place to fly, and you'll get a 3D view of what the terrain is really like. Sometimes you'll even be able to find actual photos of the locations if others have been there before you. Now, obviously, all of this freedom isn't quite the same as real life, and so here in New Zealand, I use a separate app called AirShare, which shows you aerodromes, military land, and that sort of legal things so that you know where you can and can't fly. Most countries, I'm sure, have their own apps, so I'd urge you to utilize that as well before you just head on out to a Google Earth location. So now, if those secrets only take up 3 pages of this book, then what the heck else is inside of it? Well, look, I didn't want to overwhelm you at first, but because you now know how simple these secrets are to learn, I've got this video right here that opens up, well, let's just say a few more pages of the book and gives you 50 more FPV drone secrets. Yeah, that is 50. We'll see you over there.